Hi everybody, welcome to Activity Time. We're talking about Mickey Mouse this month, and today we are going to make a Mickey Mouse pencil and paintbrush holder. You can keep him on your table so that when we do crafts together, you'll have all your supplies in one place. All right, so in your kit, you have been given a paintbrush. Not like this, but you have been given a paintbrush, and make sure you keep it when you're finished. Wash it out with a little bit of dish soap and water, and you can keep it in your Mickey Mouse holder because we'll probably use it again another time this year. All right, so in your kit you've got a flower pot and a paintbrush, and you've got 2 buttons, and you have a piece of paper circle with a little bite cut out of it, and you have a piece of black foam. Now you are going to need some scissors. Oh, and you also have some black and some red paint. Okay, you will need your scissors from home, and you will need some glue. All right, first of all, make sure you're wearing an old shirt that doesn't matter if it gets a little bit of paint on it, or put on an apron or something that you can wash easily afterwards. Okay, and make sure you put something down on the table because your mom won't like it very much if you get black paint on her counter or on her table, or your grandma or your dad or your big sister, wherever you are. They're not going to like that much. So we are going to start with our flower pot because this is the part that that needs some time to dry. So we're going to start with that. Now I've given you little containers of paint, but I ran out of them for me. So you can paint right from the containers. I can't, so I'm just pouring a bit on a piece of plastic that I can wash off easily afterwards. All the bottom part of my flower pot I am going to paint red. Okay, just like that. Now I find sometimes it's better if you just put it on lightly because then you can add more if you need to, and it also dries more quickly if it's not on really thick and drippy. Okay, and I am going to go all the way around my flower pot and paint it red. Make sure I've got all the spots. Okay, then I am going to paint the rim of the flower pot black. Now, if you're smart and leave that bottom part to dry before you paint the black part, you're not going to get fingerprints in your red paint. You really should do that. Wash your brush out. I don't have a sink right here, so I am just going to use another brush, and I am going to hold it by putting my fingers inside it like this, and then that way I'm not touching the wet red paint. Okay, and I am going to just paint around the edge this rim black. Okay, that's what makes this craft easy to do because the lines of where you're painting are already there, and there's a bit of a space between, so you're not as likely to mix your colors up. But if you do, you can just go back and put a little bit more red paint over top, or a little bit more black paint if you've gone the red. Okay, and then you can leave it like that, or you can take your brush and run it right around the very top of the rim and just do that part black. Now this part's hard to do without getting paint on it. Maybe you can put a stick in the middle and hold it like that. See, like that, and paint that. Now we're just going to let that dry while we make the ears. You should put your paintbrushes in a cup of water right now so that the paint doesn't dry on it, and that way you'll be able to use it again. Okay, if the paint dries, then it's not so easy to clean them, and you may not be able to reuse your brush as well. Okay, so now we are going to take our piece of foam, and I need 2 ears. We're going to be making the ears. So I'm going to cut that foam in half. All right. And this is easier to do it if you do it one at a time. Sometimes some people like to cut 2 at a time, but it does come out a lot better if you only do 1 at a time, because foam is thick and it's hard to cut 2 at the same time. And I'm just going to put the piece of paper on top of the foam, and then I'm cutting around the outside of the circle so that I have a circle shape in my foam, just like that. I'm not going to put the little bite in my circle. I'm just cutting out my circle shape right now. Okay, and if you look, my shape is a little bit wobbly, but that's okay because it's an ear, and so ears they bend and have folds in them, and they're not perfectly straight, and so this shouldn't be either. Okay, just cut it as close to a circle as you can. And again, I'm going to do that with my second piece and cut around my circle. Now, if it helps you and you have a white pencil crayon or something like that, you can always put the circle on and trace around it, and then cut the outline rather than having to hold it while you're cutting. Now, I put this on. It's not going to be easy to cut a V by using this as a pattern. It's too small. But the reason I did that was just to show you that you don't need a great big slit. Just a little slit is all you need, because it's going to sit over the edge of the flower pot, and you don't want it to be too big, or the ear won't fit. Okay, just a little tiny bite of pie is all you're going to cut. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both of them. Now, when you cut about into, if you were to fold your ear in half and make a little pinch, then you would see a middle line. So you're only going to cut up as high as the middle line, and then you're going to cut another snip and make a triangle to pull out, just like that. All right, now paint on a flower pot dries really quickly, and if you look, while we were getting the ears ready, the paint is already dry, so we're ready to go on to the next step. Now, I am going to take my glue, and you do need a little bit of liquid glue to do this so that it holds the ear on. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue on my paper here, and take my finger and just put some glue on the edges, on the inside of that triangle, of that little bite you made. Okay, and then I'm going to put this over one side, just like that, and pinch it. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the next one. And I think I might have even made my bites just a little bit big, but the glue will help to hold it on. Okay. Now, if you have a hot glue gun and you have a bigger person around to be able to help you use it, then you can add hot glue to hold your ear on. See, that's already working, and it's holding it on just like that. Now, I am going to put a dab of glue on each of my buttons. And if you lie your pot down, you can put your glue on your button and put your button on. Because Mickey always has buttons on his pants, doesn't he? And if you put in a little bit of extra glue and it squirts out the side like mine does, it's going to dry clear, so it doesn't really matter. Did I put this button upside down? Yes. No. Now be careful, because that's what I just did. My buttons have two sides, and one side has a little dip in it, a little pocket. It goes down, an indent in the middle. You want to put the glue on the flat side, because if you put the glue on the side with the little indent, then it won't stick to the cup. Okay, now leave that lying down just for a few minutes, 5 minutes or so that it can dry without the buttons sliding all over the place. Just prop it up against your scissors or your glue bottle or something like that. Make sure you close your glue bottle and clean up, and when everything's all dry, you have a pencil holder for your desk. Have fun with this. I'd love to see what you create. Send me a picture. Bye-bye.